What's going on, everybody? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of the 199, and I'm happy to see all of you here tonight. We've only got about an hour, so we're going to get right into it because we've got a gaming stream tonight, and I have a lot going on, and I do apologize. I wanted to go live earlier after Daily, but as I said on Daily, yesterday was crazy, so I won't get into the details of it, but I made main event last night. I wanted to do a CobraCast last night, but time did not allow that, but it will be fun. So there's a lot to talk about. So hope everybody's doing well. Good to see all of you. Let's see. We've got 877 cash now. Figometry 101, or it's Figonometry 101. Jeremy is gay. Hunter says a tad drunk. So if I don't make it to the live, hail the 199, hail Donald J. Trump, and praise God. MAGA, Maha, God bless you all. Hell yes. Force Geek says, if I drop 50, will you play my Trump video? I'm not trying to take over your show or anything. Just wondering. I got Bro Science to play it earlier, and there were no strikes or anything. Hail the 199. Well, you don't have to give me $50. You can give me 50, but you don't have to. But I will play it. I actually pulled it up because I saw your super chat come in. So I do have it, and I will play it. But shout out to you. Andy Plays Game says, early and manly. Shadow Sand says, wrap it up, Jeremy. It's time for Mario Kart. Zinni Biscuit says, if you sent Jay to the White House, he would knock over the podium, trip Caroline Levitt, and JD would just do a slow clap. That is accurate right there. That is accurate. But I'll give everybody time to get in because I did go live a little bit early. So I know everybody's got to roll in here. And so like I said yesterday, I said this on Daily, but yeah, the reason I was going to go live earlier today. So without going into too many details. So yesterday I spent the majority of the day at the hospital. Not for me, for someone from in my family. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make Tuesday night's main event, and I made it last second. And then as soon as main event ended, I walk outside of my office here, and another one of my family members had to be taken to the hospital. So it was not a fun day yesterday. So that's why I couldn't go live earlier. I'm just juggling a lot right now. So anyway, all good, all good. But yeah, it was a very nerve-wracking to say the least. So but yeah, all is good now. For now, we'll see. Well, hopefully that holds. Lady Erin D says, praise Jesus, Jeremy learned to shave. Yeah, I shaved. Yeah. I mean, this is probably the most I've shaved, and I usually keep a little bit, but yeah, I shaved, so it's all gone. Squiddy Girl says, today at work, while grading papers, I accidentally typed 199% instead of 100% for one of the students' grades. Probably watches too much CobraCast. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Also, I mean, even like me, like, and I was told, by my family too, like, I look 10 years younger now that I shaved. Like, I look 10 years. It's crazy how old any facial hair makes me look. I look old, and I basically look like I'm equal to Gary when I have facial hair. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about today. And we had the cabinet meeting today with the Trump administration, which was pretty damn awesome. And there was a lot to take away from that, including one Elon Musk. Elon Musk actually spoke along with Trump and his cabinet, and it was actually pretty cool. And it just kind of shows you what the Trump administration is all about, because they really are. The transparency is through the roof right now with the Trump administration. So let's check this out right here. Pretty awesome stuff.
Every day to get the prices down. The inflation is stopping slowly, and we have cut billions and billions and billions of dollars. We're looking to get it maybe to $1 trillion. If we can do that, we're going to start getting to be at a point where we can think in terms of balancing budgets. When you hear the names and the places where this money's going, it's a disgrace.
The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country
The fact that Elon is in there with his jacket and his dark MAGA hat is absolutely fantastic.
$2 trillion deficits. Doge is a support function for the president and for the agencies and departments to help achieve those savings and to effectively find 15% in reduction in fraud and waste.
We are going to balance this budget, and we are going to pay off the debt under President Trump.
All right, President Trump holding his first official cabinet meeting. You were watching it live over the past hour or so. This is his second term in office, and boy, did he provide some transparency. That was senior advisor Elon Musk there, pushing forward with his plans to root out fraud and waste in the federal government, explaining exactly how he is and planning to continue to do that. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith in New York, and what an incredible moment there, John, for them to open that up for the American public, for the world to see.
Because it shows that President Trump is a real leader, and it shows that everyone on his team is willing to be transparent with the American people, which is exactly what we voted for.
It really was. I've been in cabinet meetings that have gone, we were allowed to be in there for 45 minutes or an hour or so, but for this to be live, must-see TV for the extended period that it was, that's pretty incredible. Though I don't know if they could make good on Howard Lutnick's declaration that they're going to pay down the debt. That's an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
At any rate, I'm John Roberts in Washington. This is America Reports. President Trump and his cabinet taking questions on a wide range of issues, making news on everything from tariffs to peace, possibly in Ukraine, from egg prices to immigration.
There was one point when RFK, I think it was somebody asked Trump about the measles outbreak or something in Texas, and Trump threw it over to RFK, and RFK was talking about it. And the reporter actually said to RFK, he's like, well, you sound like you're a little under the weather. And RFK was like, oh, I have a constant throat issue or something like that. And I'm like, did you really just say that to RFK? Like, holy shit, man. I couldn't believe that.
And we are covering it all this hour.
Boy, are we. Starting with senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey. He's live on the North Lawn. What an exciting midday for all of us, Peter. So Doge was certainly a big focus there.
Yes, and Sandra, just to follow up quickly on what John was just talking about, he said that he's been to cabinet meetings that lasted, or where he was allowed to be in there about 45 minutes. I've been in some cabinet meetings during the last administration where we were allowed to stay in there for about 2 minutes.
Think about that. The difference is absolutely astonishing. The difference in this administration versus the last is night and day.
And so this one was a lot different. And we saw something that you don't normally see at any cabinet meeting, which would be applause, as the cabinet secretaries that have already been confirmed actually applauded the two guys that are trying to cut spending at their agencies.
Anybody unhappy, say it. If you are, we'll throw them out of here. Is anybody unhappy? Anyway, I have a lot of respect for Elon and that he's doing this, and some disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's not only happy, they're thrilled.
President Trump blessed the effort to get 5 bullet points from every federal employee, claiming the main purpose is to find out if people on the federal rolls actually exist. Musk simplified the exercise as a pulse check or a performance review, and he claims that the effort to cut has meant multiple new threats on his life.
Taking a lot of flack and getting a lot of death threats, by the way. I mean, like, stuck him up, But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done. I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, knock on my wooden head, there's got a lot of wood there, that we can actually find control.
Elon's so awkward, and there's actually another angle, I believe, of that, and we're gonna listen to that other angle. But yeah, Elon is so like awkward, and he's sitting here making jokes in this room full of all these people, and they're all like in awe of Elon, but he's just like the most awkward person ever. It's so freaking good. As a matter of fact, here we go. I've got this clip right here. It's got a better angle of Elon,
but also based on balancing budgets and getting our country back into shape, and this is a big part of it. So Elon, if you could get up and explain where you are, how you're doing, and how much we're successful guy. He's really working so hard, and he's got businesses to run. And in many ways, they say, "How do you do this?" And, he's sacrificing a lot and getting a lot of praise, I'll tell you. But he's also getting hit, and we would expect that, and that's the way it works. So I'd like to have Elon Musk please say a few words.
Well,
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I actually just call myself a humble tech support here because this is actually.
Elon is so awkward and I love it, dude. He represents all of us because any of us would be awkward in that setting as well. None of us would actually feel comfortable. It's so good.
As crazy as it sounds, that is almost a literal description of the work that the Doge team is doing, is helping fix the government computer systems. Many of these systems are extremely old. They don't communicate. There are a lot of mistakes in the systems. The software doesn't work. So we are actually tech support. It's ironic, but it's true. The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing; it is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here, and taking a lot of flack and getting a lot of death threats. By the way, I mean I'd like to stack them up, But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done. I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, knock on my wooden head, there's got a lot of wood up there, that we can actually find $1 trillion in savings. That would be roughly 15% of the $7 trillion budget. And obviously that can only be done with the support of everyone in this room. And I'd like to thank everyone for your support. Thank you very much. This can only be done with your support. So it's really, Doge is a support function for the president and for the agencies and departments to help achieve those savings and to effectively find 15% in reduction in fraud and waste. And we bring the receipts. So people say well, is this real? Just go to doge.gov. We line item by line item, we specify each item. So, and I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly.
See, when he says something like that, they're going to use that against him, because that's what the left does, and it's what the Democrats do. Because the Democrats don't ever say anything like that; they just don't. And so when you have somebody that's actually willing to be transparent and honest and say something like that, they're just going to use that against you because that's the type of people that they are.
So, for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately, and there was no interruption. But we do need to move quickly. If we're to achieve a $1 trillion deficit reduction in financial year 2026, it requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it.
$4 billion a day. Think about that. That means Elon Musk is going to have to be crushing so much of this government, spending waste. That's absolutely insane.
And we will do it. Thank you.
Would you have any questions of Elon while we're on the subject of Doge? Because we'll finish off with that. And if you would have any questions, please, we'll finish off with that. And if you would have any questions, please ask. You could ask me or Elon. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Musk. I just wanted to ask you that President Trump put out a Truth Social today saying that everybody in the cabinet was happy with you. I just wondered if you had heard otherwise, and if so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
To the best
I'd let the governor speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon?
Look how awkward he is. John freaking Murdoch for $50. Weaponized autism at its finest. Embrace the cespionage. Is that how you say? How did Beardo say it last night? Hail the 199. We got to make that a meme. We've got to make that like a whole. We've got to add lore to that. So Beardo, that one, I'm sure Danky's going to have that one clipped on Geeks and Gamers Life at some point in time. But yeah, that was, thank you, John freaking Murdoch for 50. So yeah, sea sponge is what he was trying, what he ended up saying. Cespionage. I don't know how he said it. I can't remember. Cespionage, sea sponge. I can't remember. I'd have to see the clip. But listen, I'm no one to judge. Okay. I've messed up a few words in my days. Okay. Demis. Yeah, we had Demis last night. It never ends. It never ends. Steel Town Menace for $10. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ministry of Wrong thinks is the fake news claiming Doge employees quitting en masse when it was actually previously appointed Obama staffer single-handedly proves the theory that Doge was a repurposed Obama department. Yeah, I heard about the fake news pushing that nonsense. It's what they always do. It's not surprising at all.
If you are, well, throw them out of here.
Yes. So this part right here is where I guess they were asking if people are upset about Doge or anything like that. I think that's what they were talking about.
Any dissatisfaction?
to the best
I'd let the governor speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw them out of here. I have a lot of respect for Elon and that he's doing this, and some disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's not only happy, they're thrilled. So go ahead, Elon.
I'm grateful.
ever. Literally. So, I do not give false praise. This is an incredible group of people. I don't think that such a talented team has actually ever been assembled. I think it's literally the best cabinet that the country's ever had, and I think the company should be incredibly appreciative of the people in this room.
Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. Musk. Are there about half of the government employees so far appear to have responded to your request for what they've been doing over the past week? Is there a timeline in place for next moves for people being fired, and when can the American people expect to see results of that?
Yes. Well, to be clear, like I think that email perhaps was best interpreted as a performance review, but actually it was a pulse check review. Do you have a pulse? Do you have
The fact that Elon is involved in this, running a department called Doge, is the greatest thing ever. Like, this is how you dominate the culture. Trump has completely dominated the culture.
pulse and 2 neurons. So if you have a pulse and 2 neurons, you can reply to an email. This is, I think not a high bar, is what I'm saying. This is should be anyone could accomplish this. But what we are trying to get to the bottom of is we think there are a number of people on the government payroll who are dead, which is probably why they can't respond. And some people who are not real people, like they're literally fictional individuals that are collecting paychecks. Well, somebody's collecting paychecks on a fictional individual. So we're just literally trying to figure out, are these people real? Are they alive? And can they write an email? Which I think is a reasonable expectation for the American public would have at least that expectation of someone in the public sector.
Mr. Musk, roughly 1 million employees.
It's not a high bar, guys, come on.
Roughly 1 million employees have responded so far to this email. Does that mean that the remaining 1 million or so federal employees now risk?
So somebody just told me Pam Bondi is on Jesse Waters Live. All right, let's hear this real quick, because we're gonna shift back to that in a minute, but
they locked Elon Musk employees of Doge and of the government, special government employees. Half of them they locked inside USAID, half of them they locked outside of USAID when they cut off their access cards. They were emboldened, but no longer. And every agency.
I'm curious if they're going to bring up
within
the Epstein, because this Epstein story is getting pretty crazy, and I'm curious if he's going to ask her about it.
You better be careful, because Donald Trump is not going to stand for this anymore. No more waste in the federal government. It's
Are you finding any sabotage within the department? Because that was a huge issue during the first term.
Already talked about it.
And
They already
lessons
talked about
learned,
it?
Jesse. I think we're a lot wiser this time. We know what we're doing. We know where the good people are. We know where the bad people are. And for the most part, the great men and women of the Justice Department, the FBI, DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, all the agencies that fall under the Justice Department, they're out there working hard every day for the most part. You know, Jesse, these people for FBI, for instance, they didn't go to Quantico to raid Mar-a-Lago, and that's over too. The weaponization has ended. They want to be out there fighting violent crime. They want to be going after the meth dealers, the fentanyl dealers, locking up the cartels, and that's what we're going to be doing. Keeping our borders safe too, Jesse.
Well, thanks for joining us. You probably have to get to bed.
All right.
Bondi is here now. I can't even remember if I've congratulated you on your confirmation. Have I?
I backed it up, so let's hear if she talked about it. Thank you, Force Geek.
Okay,
so this is the first time in person.
We're
Thank
50.
you.
So, big cabinet meeting today. What happened that we don't know about when the cameras weren't rolling?
You know, once the hour-long press conference, you know, they throw every question in the world at Donald Trump, and look how he answers. He's amazing, and he just keeps going and going and going, and he knows more than all of the media put together. And so then once they finally left, we got down to business, and we went around the room, and the president just basically asked a lot of us what was going on within our departments. And, you know, what you shared from Marco earlier is so true. We all have known each other, the majority of us, for so long, and we're friends, and that's what makes a difference. Jesse, we pick up the phone, we're on the phone with each other constantly, all of us, on every issue you've talked about already in your monologue, and others almost daily. We talk constantly at the cabinet level, and that's why we're getting things done so fast for Donald Trump and to make America great again. You know, I got to talk about today 2 big drug arrests that we made yesterday through the FBI, and I'm so happy I have Cash Patel in there, by the way.
We want the Epstein files
we made a
released.
huge meth arrest,
That's what we
methamphetamine
want.
in Wyoming, hundreds of pounds of methamphetamine. Arkansas yesterday, 100 pounds of methamphetamine. Think how many people that can kill. And they lace that stuff, they lace the meth with fentanyl. So we're out there fighting every day to save lives, domestically and internationally.
One of the things a lot of people are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims, 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, you know, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well,
along with his co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for sure.
He sure did.
We're hearing reports that there was an investigation opened into James Comey, who may have.
So just to pause there for a minute. So that's good information. I understand the criticism of this because let me in chat. You can remind me. You can correct me on this if I'm wrong. Trump obviously has said multiple times like that when he's asked, he's like, yeah, 100%. Let's release this. It's not like this was like a big like campaign promise from Trump. It's not like he was out there saying that like this was one of the main priorities from him. But when he was asked, he said that he would release it. Am I correct about that? Now, with that said, I've heard a lot of people saying that they're not releasing it because Trump's name is on it. That is the biggest load of nonsense ever. If Trump's name was on it, the Democrats would have released this a long time ago. That is 100%. There's no chance that Trump's name is on there. And if it was on there, we would already have heard about it because the Democrats would have used it. Do I need to remind you that they raided Mar-a-Lago? Do I need to remind you that they arrested him multiple times? Do I need to remind you that they tried to kill him multiple times? Do I need to remind you that they locked up his supporters? Do I need to remind you that they banned him off of all social media? If they had a smoking gun on him, they would have already dropped it. So I know the Trump haters out there are clinging on to that being the reason. That is not the reason. With that said, there are a lot of Trump supporters that are critical of this, and you should be critical of this. We should continue to be very loud and very vocal about this. We should see the Diddy list, and we should see the Epstein list 1,000%. We should be able to see that with no names redacted in terms of the flight logs and all that. Obviously, victims and all of that 100% need to be protected. And I get that. And that is where it becomes a very sensitive issue. But nobody's name that was on the flight logs need to be redacted at all.
Have thrown honeypots at Donald Trump back in the 2015, 2016 years. Is that true?
Jesse, I don't know anything about what you're saying about James Comey right now.
Okay. That was a report.
Don't know anything about that.
That was a report that was cited in the Washington Times. I'll take it at that. We're hearing a lot about Doge. Has Doge been an issue for the Department of Justice? Are you guys getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse?
So to say Doge has been an issue is an understatement because we are defending everything Doge is doing, whether it's the EPA with Lee Zeldin or Marco and USAID and Secretary of State, all the departments. What they're doing has truly been remarkable. The waste, the spending, it was more than any of us could have ever anticipated. Here's an example of a case that we've been handling with Scott Bessent, Secretary of Treasury. We had a judge rule that the Secretary of Treasury himself could not control payments out of the Department of Treasury. If it wasn't so outrageous, it would be comical. Only a career employee could control payments, not a political, not even the appointed commissioned Secretary of the Treasury. So that's the kind of stuff we're up against. But we are fighting back. We are going to take every single case to the Supreme Court. And if you have taken funds that you shouldn't have, we're coming after you.
So you're finding that these entrenched bureaucrats, career bureaucrats, believe they run the show. And that when politically appointed people or Senate confirmed people come in to execute the duties of the executive branch, they say no and shut the door?
And district court judges back them up on it.
Really?
Oh, it's true. Oh, well, and they locked Elon Musk employees.
Jeremy is 65 years old and looks 35. I saw somebody said Jeremy shaved and looks 17 years old now. It's crazy how much younger I look when I just shave that little bit of peach fuzz that I had.
Of Doge and of the government, special government employees. Half of them they locked inside USAID, half of them they locked outside of USAID when they cut off their access cards. They were emboldened, but no longer. And every agency within this country, every federal agency, we're going to find out who you are, and you better be careful because Donald Trump is not going to stand for this anymore. No more waste in the federal government.
Are you finding any sabotage within the department? Because that was a huge issue during the first term.
Yeah, it was. And, lessons learned, Jesse. I think we're a lot wiser this time. We know what we're doing. We know where the good people are. We know where the bad people are. And for the most part, the great men and women of the Justice Department, the FBI, DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, all the agencies that fall under the Justice Department, they're out there working hard every day for the most part. You know, Jesse, these people for FBI, for instance, they didn't go to Quantico to raid Mar-a-Lago, and that's over too. The weaponization has ended. They want to be out there fighting violent crime. They want to be going after the meth dealers, the fentanyl dealers, locking up the cartels, and that's what we're going to be doing. Keeping our borders safe too, Jesse.
Well, thanks for joining us.
All right, so we'll leave it there. So again, I was just informed about that, so I appreciate you guys letting me know about that. We'll get back to this here in just a minute. I'm gonna read a few super chats. Let's see where we're at. Vlad says, watch the show Dexter, better than Cobra Kai. Jay, please wipe when you get off the toilet. Listen, Dexter is probably great. I've never watched Dexter. I have a hard time believing anything will be as good as Cobra Kai for me. I think Cobra Kai is just the most phenomenal show ever. Listen, I know it's got cheesiness. Seasons 3 and 4 gets a little cringy, some of the stuff they're doing, but Johnny Lawrence is such a great character. Johnny Lawrence might be one of the greatest characters ever. And he speaks volumes, like in terms of like he speaks to the everyday person. Just like the season 1 when that dude like takes the microphone at the All Valley and he's like preaching about love and peace and ending hate and racism. And like Johnny Lawrence leans over to Miguel. He's like, kick that pansy bitch's ass. Or little things like that, you know? So I freaking love that show. So, 5 is peak. Yeah. Season 5 was pretty great. Season 6 was phenomenal as well. But yeah, Johnny Lawrence is awesome. I have never seen Dexter though. I might watch it one of these days. I might. Force Geek for 50 says here's 50 anyway, man. Appreciate what you do. You're the news now. It's funny how it all started with trolling Tim Pool. Let me know if you need the link to the video. And how about those Epstein files? What's going on here? Pam Bondi looks terrible. She doesn't look great right now. She looks good, but you know, in her terms of her job, not looking great. We'll see, we'll see if she actually releases it. But she's going to be under some immense pressure if she does not release it. Red Mage 450 says, asking what you do for your job is literally a question I have to answer every year for my full-time job evaluation. It determines whether I get a pay raise or possibly lose my job. Annoying that people who are losing it over Elon, I have to point this out to them. Yeah, man. Thank you, Red Mage. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I mean, it's your TikTok generation, man. It's the TikTok generation. It's the like earlier I was arguing with some idiot on Twitter, and he was like, oh, you're dead. I saw that clip of when you argued with Gary and told him how much you hate what you do with wokeness or calling wokeness out. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I argue on every stream. This is why I keep people off CobraCast, because every time I'm on a stream with my friends, I argue. That's all we do is argue and fight. And it's that TikTok generation where if they see one clip, they define her person's entire existence off of one clip. So with this email situation, like, they've lived such a sheltered life that they don't understand what the real world is all about. Like, the real world, having a real job in the real world means you have to live up to expectations and standards or you will be replaced and fired. It's that simple. This TikTok generation is done. They're broken. Jeremy loves to argue. Absolutely. Arguing is so fun. And yeah, so people are getting a reality check, and that's okay with me. Ministry Front thing says, guys, we are never going to actually see those tapes. Why the hell would you want to? They're literally grape tapes. They're not going to put them on X. Congress will view them only. Well, I don't think anybody's asking for tapes. I think people are asking for the fly logs and the Epstein list. I don't think anyone's asking for tapes. People are asking for the list, the flight logs, so we can see all of these high-ranking celebrities and government officials. We want the names, not the tapes. Nobody wants the tapes. No, if anybody's asking for those tapes, maybe check their hard drive. Okay. I don't think anybody's asking for the tapes. Andrew CR says Jeremy shaved looks gayer. Yeah, nobody's looking. Nobody wants the tapes. Wyoming Sasquatch says, where's my based 18% at? Hail 199 Beardos Gay. Nate Branch says, prayers for your family members. Hail the 199. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. Queasy says, God bless you and President Trump. Hope your fam is okay. Thank you. Everybody's good now. It was a rough day yesterday for sure. And just trying to keep tabs on stuff is all today. Eric says, I am sorry to hear about your family. I hope they're doing okay. You're still gay, though. Thank you. Boner and Swamp Pats is excited to see you, Jeremy. Thank you. Pyro for Las Vegas says, DOJ has suspended the release of the Epstein list. No, they haven't. Well, I mean, again, we just heard Pam Bondi say that they're going to start releasing some stuff potentially tomorrow. The Dragon Bane says, leftists on X complaining about what Elon was wearing, but are okay with Fetterman looking like a bum. Yeah, as a matter of fact, and I got to show you guys something really quick because I did bookmark it. Let me see. Yeah, everybody's saying how much younger I look. Right here. This is what I was saying earlier about RFK. Some reporter was like asking about his fucking measles outbreak.
We are following the measles epidemic every day. I think there's 124 people who have contracted measles at this point, mainly in Gaines County, Texas. Mainly, we're told in the Mennonite community. There are 2 people who have died, but we're watching it, and there are about 20 people hospitalized, mainly for quarantine. We're watching it. We put out a post on it yesterday, and we're going to continue to follow it. Incidentally, there have been 4 measles outbreaks this year in this country. Last year, there were 16. So it's not unusual. We have measles outbreaks every year.
So you have 4 this year and you had 16 last year. It's fear mongering. It's fear mongering bullshit. And this is where the mainstream media and these clown journalists are trying to push a narrative, and the Trump administration's like, nope, we're not going to let you push this bullshit. We're not going to let you fear monger and scare people and all of that. We're not going to let you get away with that. Because that's what they did, and people aren't going to let them get away with it this time around. And I am glad to see that. But then you have, I'm not going to say I'm a very respectable person. Okay. I'm a very nice person. Okay. So I'll just play the clip for you instead of me saying anything. Here we go. This is Jasmine Crockett. Okay. And I'll just let her words speak for themselves.
Instead, we're pushing conspiracy theories, and some of them are killing people. It's the same thing that we have coming out of Doge. It's the reason that people are dying. It's the reason that farmers are losing their farms, because we continue to peddle conspiracy theories. It is time for us to say, Mr. President, guess what? Russia invaded Ukraine. Can we at least agree on that one? Facts matter. Y'all, this is literally potentially putting us into an international crisis.
How is it literally potentially? Can someone explain that to me? How is it literally potentially? It's literally potentially.
We may be heading towards the next world war. This is literally potentially putting us into an international crisis. We may be heading towards the next world war because we have a president that wants to pal around with Putin and wants to do everything to make him feel good, including lying about who invaded who.
Literally, potentially, everybody. Listen, you guys are thinking I'm going to say one thing, but I'm going to say something completely different. Okay? I'm going to subvert your expectations right here. You guys probably think, oh, Jeremy's going to say something really funny about, this and all of that. And the truth is listen, I'm just going to say it. All right. Jasmine Crockett is an impressive person, a truly impressive person. Absolutely. In fact, Jasmine Crockett has accomplished something that Trump couldn't accomplish, Elon couldn't accomplish, Alina Habba couldn't accomplish. Jasmine Crockett has proven without a shadow of a doubt that AOC is not the dumbest person in politics. She did it, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Jasmine. You have proven that AOC is not the dumbest person in politics. Round of applause for you. You accomplished something that no one else could do. Great job. Great job. Man, representing the hood. That's what's up right there. Good job. All right. We're proud of you. Really proud of you there. Good Lord, man. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? Oh, man. Oh, man. This right here, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the IRS is closing over 120 offices in the United States. The IRS is set to let go of thousands of employees. Now, I think there's something pretty interesting going on here, okay? Because one of the most crucial members of the entire Trump administration is, I think you pronounce it Dan Scavino. Did you see what Dan Scavino tweeted out yesterday? Chat, did you see what Dan Scavino pointed out or tweeted out? Did you see this? Here we go. That is what he tweeted out last night at 11:30. Time to abolish the IRS. That tweet does not happen without President Trump knowing about it. That tweet does not happen. This is the second major player in the Trump administration that has said, time to abolish the IRS. It's happening. I 100% believe this is happening. Please abolish before the tax deadline. Let's go. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that was crazy to see that one. So, I mean, you've had Howard Lutnick and you've had now, and Howard Lutnick said that Donald Trump wants to abolish the IRS. That's what he said. That's huge. That's a game changer. Donald Trump will be the most popular politician in history if he gets rid of the IRS. Easily. Muller Ram for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Appreciate that. Andrew CR says, imagine the meltdowns these government shitheads would have with a daily status meeting, replaying replying to a fucking email with what you do is the literal lowest bar. I wouldn't hire a public employer ever. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how they melted down over this. JB username for 20 says, all I hear when these crazy leftists grandstand is the rock clip of shut up, bitch. Yep. Same here, brother. Same here. Dragon Dad says, Biden at cabinet meeting. Where's the cabinets? Vault 95 says, here for the superior show. Hail CobraCast. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Not a band account says, no one elected President Elon Musk to office. I fucking did. How many of the 3,000 people in the chat voted for Elon Musk? I did. I voted for Elon. What you gonna fucking do about it? I did. 877 Cash Now says, you didn't hear Benny had whistleblower FBI wiping servers. I'd have to look into that. I didn't see it. I haven't seen Benny a couple times. I mean, Elon was a crucial member of the Trump campaign. Yes, I voted for Elon Musk. I voted for President Trump. I voted for Alina Habba, which we haven't seen enough of. Can we get more Alina Habba on TV, please? Rye the Guy says, I bet the Bills are on that list. I'm not talking about the football team. I'm talking about Bill Clinton and Bill Gates. Muller-Amp says they need to get arrest ready before they release it so dudes can flee. Darth Manic says Jeremy shaved and looks deathly pale. Jades. Steel Town Menace says I wanted to know if you see my ex post to you and Drunk 3PO related to his ass wiping contest. I sent you 2 different ones at Steel Town Menace. I don't think I have, but I'll look it up. Chad McThundercock for 5. Thank you. Alex McCarthy says a rumor Levitt is dating a cripple in Northeast Florida. Bird Up says Dexter peaks during the season with John Lithgow and falls off hard after. I heard the ending of Dexter disappointed a lot of people. Toastmaster says Pam Bondi was just on Jesse Waters saying she's going to drop stuff tomorrow. Yep, that's what we saw. Mike Noss says people who protest Trump are lucky he isn't as bad as they claim he is. If he was, Trump could easily have his haters locked away. This is true. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, G'day, Figs. Here in Australia, we might get our own Doge due to how much bloated spending and possible corruption happening. Shall see what happens. Good luck. J. David Gay Beard says, Jasmine Crockett, raise my rocket, ready, blast off. Ministry of Wrong Things says, Savvy is literally potentially a somewhat semi-attractive person. All right, that's good right there. That is fantastic. Lord Botha says, what up, man? You know, I heavily disagree with you on that one subject, but I wanted to say I'm still a fan and wish family the best. That there was most important at the end of the day. Of course, bro. Hey, listen, I saw you tweeted that and I was like, well, I got to respond to that. But all is good. I don't care if people that, you know, are fans of the show disagree with me from time to time. That's literally how the internet should work and always work. And I don't want a group of people following me that just want to agree with everything I say. I have no problem with being challenged and all of that. That's part of it. So all good over here, brother. Gundam Wing Zero says Elon Musk is a definition of weaponized autism. Tinhead says your shaved face looks like a bunghole that's been nared. Damn. American Patriot says just became a member on the Geeks Gamers Locals. Hail the 199. Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate that. And okay, we got more stuff to talk about and we got a lot still to talk about and we only got a little while to do it. So we might as well continue the party as it is right now. So we're going to continue. Give me just a minute. I got to find this other clip because today was just a crazy day and there was a lot going on today. Check this out. Floyd Money Mayweather. Listen to what Money Mayweather had to say right here. All right. Money Mayweather. Here we go.
At least I'm happy, but we're never happy. When we had Trump before, we didn't appreciate him, but I think Trump is a great president. Actually, he's the best president in my eyes. He's the best president we ever had. Great businessman, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, and the way the day's cabinet thing, you probably went around here. It was really phenomenal. To the point you talked about, team putting together a great team.
Yes,
put together a fantastic cabinet.
Trump has done an amazing job, and a lot of people around America are upset. But no matter who goes in the White House, we're always upset.
Right.
And I think Trump is the man for the job. He's the best president in my eyes.
Let's go, Money Mayweather. That's what I'm talking about. More, and you're going to see this more and more. You're going to see more and more people finally speaking up and just dropping the truth. And the truth is Trump is the GOAT. Trump is the single best president. I mean, if you want to say for your lifetime, my lifetime, he's the best president ever, period. And in fact, he's so good. You got these clowns right here. This clown, this Canadian NDP leader, Jagmeet. Listen to what this clown has to say about Trump.
I also believe we need to ban Donald Trump.
I just want everybody to understand this is going to get bad for Canada, okay?
I also believe we need to ban Donald Trump from attending the G7 summit. Donald Trump should not be welcome here. Why would we invite someone who has threatened our very democracy, our very sovereignty? Why would we invite someone who has threatened our economic well-being? Why would we invite someone who threatens our allies and threatens the world's stability? Why would we allow a convicted criminal into our country? Why would we invite someone who has such disdain for multilateral organizations? Instead, what we should do is use the G7 summit as an opportunity to work with our allies on a plan to resist Donald Trump and his dangerous threats to the world.
Oh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so good. Governor Trudeau will more than likely have some type of meltdown, and I can't wait to see that. And on top of that, Trump is tweeting this out. Trump says Wayne Gretzky could run for any political office in Canada and win. He's the greatest Canadian of them all. And I am therefore making him a free agent because I don't want anyone in Canada to say anything bad about him. So Trump is really pushing this idea of Wayne Gretzky to like run Canada. Let's go. Dude, it never ends with Trump, dude. It never ends. It never ends. Like the amount of trolling is next level, man. Like I'm blown away by how much trolling he does. Woo! You love to see it, man. I am here for it. I am here for it all day, every day. Let me see. All right, so it is going around. A lot of people are breaking this story now with Pam Bondi. So again, let's listen to what she said one more time.
You said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk. When can we see them?
What is up with this music you're putting in there, Dom? What is this music? I don't want to hear all this fucking music, Dom. Why do you do that with your videos? Hang on. I don't know if it's copyrighted. Dom's cool. I like Dom, but I don't know what it's just stupid fucking music he puts in there. Here we go.
When can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah. What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, but it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well,
along with his co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for
sure.
He
sure did.
So there you go. So that is going to be happening tomorrow. It looks like. So I'm really excited about that. We'll see how in depth that is. But that's really big news. It's actually huge news. Now, you guys know, I mean, I'm here to be honest about things. I'm here to tell you the truth and report on the truth. Okay, I take this very seriously. And Gavin Newsom has a huge announcement that's going to he's going to change the world. California Governor Newsom program to drive down crime. Just kidding. He's starting a podcast. Here we go.
We need to change the conversation. And that's why I'm launching a new podcast. And this is going to be anything but the ordinary politician podcast. I'm going to be talking to people directly that I disagree with, as well as people I look up to. But more important than anything else, I'll be talking directly with you, the listener. Real conversations. What's going on with the cost of eggs? What are the impacts?
This man he's got like fires burning, okay? Like crazy. Crime rampant all through his state. Illegal immigration, a huge problem. And he's doing this.
Real impacts to you around tariffs. What power does an executive order really have? And what's really going on inside of Doge. Look, there's an onslaught of information that we take in. So let's take it to the sources without the typical political mumbo jumbo. In the first few weeks, we're going to be sitting down with some of the biggest leaders and architects in the MAGA movement. This is Gavin Newsom.
Oh, boy. And there we go. There we go. So Gavin Newsom is really, really focused on getting crime down, apparently, by having a new podcast drop. This guy is a fucking clown. I guarantee you this is 100%. 100% this is meant to try and build his name for 2028. That's what he's trying to do. That's all that's about. And it's laughable. Almost as laughable as good old Jake Tapper right here. So Jake Tapper.
Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no. It's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
and try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was.
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses, diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you. Your father,
Jake, is very clearly.
So he defended the decline of Biden there, but now he's got a book, Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again, from Jake Tapper. The same Jake Tapper.
Really a cognitive decline.
That sat there on national TV and lied to people.
Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no. I can't. That's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
and try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was.
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses.
So anyway, that tells you all you need to know about these clowns at CNN and the mainstream media, and how much they lie, and how much they manipulate, and how much they twist, and how much they gaslight, and all of that. That's what they do. That's why they have no credibility at all. That's why they're not going to continue to have credibility. Holy crap, man. It's amazing. Amazing. Just sits there and lies to people, lies to their face about something that they need to be informed about. I mean, you sit here like, I'm a Trump supporter. I think that the Epstein, the fact that they're taking so long on the Epstein release is the optics are bad. Now, if they follow through tomorrow, that's good. That's what they needed to do. But that's a legitimate criticism of the Trump team and the Trump administration. They need to get on that. That is something that's very important to the base that carried Donald Trump to the victory. Good Lord, man. Now, I don't know what's going on with our boy, Mayor Eric Adams, but apparently he had a few things to say today, okay? So let's hear what he had to say today.
So this is a biblical moment. When Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God, forgive them. Are you stupid? I'm running my race right now. So
the Attitude Era, baby. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? The Attitude Era is here one more time.
This is a biblical moment. When Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God forgive them.
Woo!
Are you stupid? I'm running my race right now.
Let's go. I love it, man. I love this all new attitude era that we're in. It's glorious. And yeah, man, it's great. This is what we need. And then, of course, we have this moment right here from President Trump. I don't know if you guys heard this one, but here we go.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who worry that targeting an individual firm or individuals who aren't Jack Smith?
Excuse me. I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. So you don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians for 4 years, and then 4 years after that. So don't talk to me about targeting.
Yeah, that's what's up. One more time.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who worry that targeting an individual firm or individuals who aren't Jack Smith?
Excuse me. I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. So you don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians for 4 years, and then 4 years after that. So don't talk to me about targeting.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who worry that targeting?
Whoa. Is this for real? There's no way. So I've been seeing this meme go around. There's no way this is the new host of MSNBC. There's no way. I kept seeing the meme. I haven't seen this. Are you kidding me? What is that?
He has a hard time running against Vice President Harris because she's a Black woman. You remember actually when he would tussle with the women that would ask him questions, our colleagues on the White House.
What are any of these things?
He held his kind of most angry self for Black women, right? If they asked him a question, he would have the worst things to say about them. So you're seeing that, right?
I can think of three off the top
of my head. And when he talked about Joe Biden got worse, Harris was born like that, right? That's different. That's a dog whistle to folks to say, the white guy just got older and it got worse, but the Black lady was born dumb. That is the kind of thing that Donald Trump is saying and selling to folks.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. What was that?
You need to settle down. You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Both of you guys? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
Oh boy, that is wild. I've seen all the memes, and I saw people saying like boy Reed and all this shit. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the context was until I saw that. That is terrifying. Holy shit. No way. No way. What? What? Whew. Joe Bitt says, I voted for Musk, RFK, Tulsi, JD, Cash, and number 47. Hail the 199. Hail. Eric K says, mods never agree with Jeremy. Confirmed. Vault 95 says, Vault 95 says, I disagree with Jeremy, and I agree with Jay. Don't we all? Epic Reader says, with the 199s with the hearts. Thank you. Ian says, sent you a revamped YMCA intro a while ago. X DMs. Let's go. Mola Ram says, Jagoff Singh, a towel is not a hat. The Cryptic Stench says, sellout Singh doesn't speak for Canadians. This mofo is the reason why Pierre isn't in power. He had 3 different opportunities to vote the corrupt government out, but just had to have his pension. F him. I hear you on that. Eddie M says, gay Canadian politicians and Jeremy. Grand Potato says, it's called trolling. We do a little trolling Joshua Miller says, I agree with Jay. Shaved Jeremy looks 10 years younger. Shaved Ryan looks like he could be found in the wrong end of Diddy's Butterfinger. Norm Al Man for 10 says, I'm Gavin Newsom, and I will do anything except solve actual problems. On tonight's podcast, what color is the sky? Absolutely. Fantastic. Mr. Knox says, I thought it said Gayam Newsom. Stephen Lee says, is that guy not the governor of Cali? Hello, J-Man, the gay man. Bird Up says, I bet Gavin never invites Adam Carolla to his podcast. Is it Sid the Maggie says, or Maggie says, Gavin Newsom sounded like Saul Goodman. Not a band account says Trump is not king and Elon is not elected. I got an idea for you. Not a band account. If you send like a $50 super chat, it'll matter more. Like your words will matter more. I'm not doing that to benefit myself. I'm trying to help you get the word out. So like if you send a 50 or 100, man, it will actually, like, you may take Trump and Elon down completely. I'm just trying to help you, okay? So $50 and maybe 100. I'm just telling you, buddy. I'm just trying to help, okay? Just trying to help. That's all, man. Hopefully you'll listen. Dark Meat Collins, I'm not reading that. Grant Potato says they are getting upset over the N-word, not the hard R, but the foreign language description of the color black. War Breer says ex-member of the time. Luis C says it's Epic Mike. Sean Living Life says may God forgive the N-words. We are all do-rag Vince at this point. I appreciate you, Jeremy, in the 199. Celebrity Jeremy says, I'm just taking a quick break from work to throw a $4.99 at Jeremy since he can't take a compliment. Hail the 199. Max K says, not a band account. Sounds like you're saying we need to make Trump king. I like that idea. So do I. Unbreaded TD says, curious if anyone thinks you look like Daemon Targaryen in the Ocean Man video where your face is on Legolas. Uncanny, in my opinion. Hail the 199. Haven't heard that one, but you never know. Mod Eric says, maybe these people defending Biden are saying he was always retarded. Maybe. Force Geek. Because I'm over and I have to go join the other stream. Mods, if you can go to, here, I'll just show you. Here's the video that Force Geek was talking about. Actually, I'll just make this my outro for Force Geek. He dropped $50. So I've got to go over to the Mario Kart stream and join my peeps over on the Geeks and Gamers Play channel. But Force Geek has this video right here. We're going to make this the outro. So if you guys want to hang around for that, and if not, I'll see you on Mario Kart. And again, I apologize for not going live earlier. Just had some family stuff that kept me tied up. So hopefully we'll be back rolling tomorrow and I won't have any interruptions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you, Force Geek. Have a good night. Talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.
One of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign in the midterms. That here we go. If you don't mind, Mr. President.
This guy is a loser. He's fat. He's pathetic. He doesn't know where he is.
Take on the intelligence community. They have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
A lot of people feel like the American dream is further and further away.
The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Hey, I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him. They tried to impeach him. They tried to put him in federal prison, and when that didn't work, they even tried to kill him. Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win.
not like us.
If you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
Who brought the cocaine into the White House?
We are confident that they'll get to the bottom of it. If they don't get to the bottom of it, investigation is going. What is the process like for me if I want to bring one more item of cocaine? How